Hello and welcome back to episode 5, I believe, of my Pokémon Emerald Catch Everything playthrough. So we're back on Route 104, next to this house that we didn't go into our first time through, Mr. Briney's cottage. And if we had gone in, it would have been completely empty, but now we can see there is a man chasing a Wingull. So if we just talk to him, he says, "Hold on lass, wait up Pico. You're red, you saved my darling Pico. We owe you so much to you. What's that? You want to sail with me? You have a letter bound for Jupiter and a package for Slateport then? Quite the busy life you must lead." Yeah, so we're going to have to, we're heading off to Jupiter Town, so we're going to be sailing down this route here. We will eventually be able to come back this way and fight the trainers and stuff that we get to kind of preview here, but for now it's just a quick drive through. I think we do get a phone call from Dad. Yeah, we never speak to our dad, he just talks to us, we never speak. So yeah, so we register our dad in the Pokénav, and then we continue on down here. Jupiter Town has the second gym. It's an island town, basically, similar to kind of Cinnabar, I guess, in the first game. But there's a few things in Jupiter as well. We're going to be getting, I believe we're going to be getting our third team member, but also we're going to get access to fishing for the first time. So if you speak to this guy, he gives you his old rod, and that unlocks a few Pokemon which I will come on to later on in this episode. But at least for now, we're just going to carry on going around Juford. I believe that unlocks 3 different Pokemon, but I'm not entirely sure. So this is just a flavor town, or flavor house basically. I don't think there are, I'm not sure if there are any items over here, maybe, no, probably not. Perhaps in this rock here. And we can see the gyms there, which we'll get to in before too long, I'm sure. And there we get to see the thing about the trendy phrases that go crazy. So you can set and we get a silk scarf. So that's pretty useful actually. We could give that to Zigzagoon, but then it wouldn't be able to pick up other items. I don't think I have any normal type moves on any of my other Pokemon just yet, but what that silk scarf does is it gives you 20% damage boost to normal type moves. So if you have a strong normal type move, it can be worth using on something like a Skarmory return or something. So hot phone is the biggest thing happening. Yeah, absolutely. And if you speak to all of these people, they're mostly talking about hot phone, which this phrase is randomized, and you can also set it. Yes, there is a deep link between hot phone and television. And this guy thinks there's a TV show about it. This is all kind of a weird bit they put in here. You can later on get the Sludge Bomb TM in here, but I'm not entirely sure when that unlocks, but it's not available just yet. That's a 90 base power physical poison move. I didn't mean to speak to him again, which, as a slight spoiler, we will end up using, so it's going to be important to kind of putting our team together. Poison type moves in general in this generation are not very good. They're not very good until I think generation 6 or 7 that the fairy type gets introduced, when suddenly poison was a lot more important because fairies were. And we've got our first trainer, which we are going to fight. So there are 2 trainers on this route just north, or this little bit just north of the actual town. And this guy has a tentacle, which should, well, I would say it should die in one hit. I don't actually think it will. Tentacle's got a lot of special defense. Yeah, so even though that was super effective from a Pokemon 8 levels higher, Ralts is quite bad, and B, Tentacle's quite bulky. That poison's pretty annoying because I might have to go and heal in the Pokemon Center. Although I might try and avoid doing that so that I can teleport back to Rustboro City if I want to. So let's just use an antidote quickly. So I think this guy just has Magikarps, or Magikarp, a Tentacle, and another Magikarp. So it's, yeah, should be a pretty easy fight. I don't think any of his Pokemon are going to pose much threat, because the Tentacle is only level 7 anyway. No, we'll just stay in there. And finally another Magikarp should die in 2 hits. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we're going to be getting our next team member. I'm probably going to fight the gym first, but I will have to wait and see. We'll come in here quickly. I think there are some hidden items there, yeah, and there's one more to the left here, behind the cave. Yeah, so we get a Pokeball there as well. And as I mentioned, yeah, we're going to be hunting for our latest team member. So if you speak to this guy, he gives you Flash as an HM. You can't actually use Flash until you've beaten the gym. And although this level is quite well lit, the later levels are much less so. I will probably cover all the Pokemon that are in this cave in one go later. So at least for now, I'm just going to go and take on the gym, I guess. And we should be evolving Ralts pretty soon. It's level 19, and it evolves at level 20. So as you can see, this is what most of the cave looks like if you do not have Flash. And we should be able to find the first trainer, I think just down here. Yeah. So the gimmick with this gym is basically that whenever you beat a trainer, you get more light, you can see further. And there's going to be a lot of these Meditites, which I would quite like to catch, but you cannot get them in this game, as far as I'm aware. So, yeah. This is a fighting type gym, so I guess we'll double team. This is a fighting type gym, so Ralts should be pretty decent in this. The only issue is that so many of the trainers use Meditite, and Meditite is part psychic, and therefore Ralts' confusion is just neutral rather than super effective. Yeah, so Bide, the way Bide works is it stores up damage that gets done to the Pokemon and then hits back, basically. So the reason I used double team there was just to stop getting any damage. The other annoying thing about these Meditites is so many of them have detect, and so you just end up wasting time to that. But they do give a decent amount of XP, and it will be useful to hopefully level up and evolve Ralts before too long. Yeah, so you see the slightly bigger circle, and I do know roughly, I'm pretty sure the quickest way to the gym leader is not this way, but I'm not really trying to find the gym leader. I'm trying to find all the trainers first, because once you beat the gym leader, you can't fight gym trainers again. So if I don't fight them now, it will be lost experience, effectively. And we should have Ralts and Combusken, yep. So Ralts should KO the Machop, and Combusken can KO the Meditite, hopefully with Peck does 70-ish. Yeah, let's do Peck, sure. There's not too many situations where Peck is actually good, and Ember might still do more damage than Peck because of Stab, but at least you know, at least some cases we might find some use. Unfortunately, we don't kill either of those Pokemon on that turn, so it would have been better to double target, but oh well. Yeah, so we just do that again, and we should have 2 easy KOs. I'm not expecting Ralts to evolve here, or to level up here, but hopefully soon we'll get through on that. So now that we do have the Old Rod, I believe the Pokemon that allows us to access are Magikarp, Tentacool, and there's one other which I believe I have forgotten, so I'll have to look it up later, but I will go back and show where you can catch each of the 3. I'm pretty sure there are 3. I don't think it's Corphish, I think it might be Surskit, but again, I'm just not hugely clear on that one. I'm not entirely sure where to go here either, but if we come down here, there's someone to fight. I think there are roughly 5 trainers in here, plus the gym leader, so lots of good experience. I remember struggling with this gym quite a lot actually when I was a kid. I always used to catch Abra and evolve it to Kadabra, and that's how I would get through this gym. But I think actually Roxanne's probably a harder fight generally. And we get the easy 2-hit KO on Machop, and now we're evolving Ralts into Kirlia. So that's a good way to start the episode. Well, not really starting at this point, I guess. Yeah, so as I mentioned, there are 5 different. Oh, there are actually 6 trainers, but one of them is a double battle. So there are 5 different battles in this gym, and we have done 3 of them so far. So we've got 2 more to go, and then once we've done those, I will heal up, and I'll heal up, and then take on the gym leader probably. We're getting a bit low on Confusion PP at this point, but again, I can just go and heal up, and also I should probably start using Combusken more, because Kirlia is now level 20, and that is higher than Combusken, I believe. The next team member we're going to be getting is also available in Dewford, but it's in one of the caves. I believe it's on the top floor of the Granite Cave, so we will be hopefully catching that before the end of the episode as well. So again, another productive episode, I hope. I hope it's slightly shorter than the last episode. My intention with these is to try and keep them around 20 to 25 minutes, but I also quite like doing the game in chunks, in kind of bits that make sense. So for instance, the episode 4 ended up being very long. It was something like 45 minutes long, I believe, but it made sense to me to do everything around Rustboro all in one go, rather than having it so that I would have to go back and or do it in 2 parts. I could have done it in 2 parts, but I don't know. It's something that I'll probably change. I'm still very new to this and kind of deciding how exactly I want to run things. I also want to do some more different sorts of videos and different games and stuff. Okay, I'm all healed up, so now we can take on Brawley. So as kind of mentioned, this is the fighting type gym, and so he does lead off with I believe a Makahita. I'm sure we'll find out. Oh no, it is a Machop. Yeah, so he has 3 Pokemon. He leads off with Machop, and then he has a Meditite at level 16 as well, and a Makahita at level 90. So the Makahita can get a bit scary. They all can, because they all have Bulk Up, which is a boosting move that boosts attack and defense. So if you know, if they start getting up too many of those, they can do some pretty decent damage. But thankfully, Kirlia is a lot stronger than Ralts was, and we are a few levels higher. Meditite does actually have Focus Punch, which is 150 base power fighting move, as far I believe, and it also has Reflect and Light Screen, so it can be a pretty scary team if it gets a Light Screen and then the Makahita comes in and starts bulking up. It can do a lot of damage. Also, if you try and use a non-damaging move like Growl or Double Team, and then it hits you with a Focus Punch, can also be pretty scary. This Makahita has Arm Thrust, Vital Throw, Reversal and Bulk Up, so nothing really to hit a Psychic type, but still some quite powerful moves if it does get up a couple of Bulk Ups. But thankfully we didn't struggle too much with that, and our Kirlia is now pretty much level 21. And that's probably the last we're going to see of Kirlia for a little while. You can see the screen fills out properly like that. Now I need to figure out if I have any Pokemon that learn Flash. I do have an Abra. I'm not sure if Abra learns Flash or not. Otherwise I believe Shroomish might learn Flash, because we are going to be taking on Granite Cave next. And because of the XP we're going to be getting in there, I'm firstly going to switch Combusken into the first slot, and then I'm also going to, let's see if Abra can learn Flash, I'm also going to catch the Pokemon that I've been alluding to. Abra can learn Flash, that's very good. So we can just take let's see how many Pokeballs we've got. I think we've got enough. I'm not going to catch everything in Granite Cave until we've gone all the way through, but I am going to catch the Pokemon that we're looking for, and I might catch some other stuff if we encounter it whilst we're looking for it. So there's no mart on this island, so if you do need Pokeballs and stuff, you can go back to Petalburg. You need to deliver the letter, and the letter is, you have to go through Granite Cave to deliver the letter. But you can go back to Rustbro if you need to get extra Pokeballs and stuff. Yeah, so we're going to head into Granite Cave now. So on this first floor there are 4 Pokemon available. I'm just going to save in case I run out of Pokeballs or something. Yeah, so on this first floor there are 4 Pokemon available. There are Makahita, which we saw in the gym. Zubat, so Makahita is 50%, Zubat is 30%, Abra is 10%, and Geodude is also 10%. So Zubat and Geodude are the 2 new Pokemon on this floor, and we are going to be looking for a Zubat, because I'm going to be using a Crobat as one of my Pokemon, as long as Cut does not kill. And Cut does kill. Okay, well, I will bear that in mind for the next one. So hopefully this stays in now. And there we go, we have our newest team member. It is a Serious Nature, which is neutral, which is fine. I mean, Adamant would have been the best one, I think, but neutral is also fine. I'm not going to be using a Repel in here, even though we will get quite a lot of encounters. I still need to catch a lot of the things in here. On this floor, as I mentioned, I've still got to catch a Makahita and a Geodude, and then on the floors below there are other things to catch as well. So I'm not going to repel, but I will probably cut out wild encounters that don't have anything of interest. If I can just run away from them like that, I probably won't. That escape rope is handy for getting out at the end, I guess. And so here's when we're going to want Flash. So this is, yeah, we can use Abra for this, which is handy. So we don't get the full screen, but you can see a lot more of it. And basically the cave goes quite simply just left to right and then right to left. This is something which we're not going to see, or we're not going to be able to come and explore for quite a while until we've got the bike. but you can cycle up that if you do so correctly. And there is an item down here, I believe, yep. Which I probably would have missed if I'd done this before we had Flash, so that's good. Yeah, so the wild Pokemon on this floor are Aron at 40%, Zubat at 30%, Sableye at 20%, and Abra at 10%. Sableye can be quite a good Pokemon to catch if you need an HM slave, because it can learn Cut and Flash, I believe. I am going to try and catch it, I guess. Sableye is Ghost Dark, and in this game there are no types that hit it super effectively. Sableye's got decent defences, but nothing amazing. It's a pretty bad Pokemon until it gets a Mega Evolution and the ability Prankster. As I said, I'm not going to catch everything until after I've finished the Granite Cave, but if we see something, I will catch it. I'm considering using Peck and hoping it doesn't kill, because I think Sableye has a decently high catch rate, and it does kill. Okay, I'm an idiot. Please ignore any broadcasts that suggested otherwise. Let's come here. Yeah, so you can see we just basically walked from left to right, and then there are a few items on this. I actually read out the encounters wrong. So the first time I said, ignore me. Basically, on this floor is actually Aron 40%, Zubat 30%, Sableye 20%, and Abra 10%. On the floor above us, which is where we just were, Aron 40%, Zubat 30%, Abra 10%, Makahita 10%, and Sableye 10%. So a bit more of a mix. And there we go. So we do finally catch Sableye, who ate up quite a few of our Pokeballs. I don't actually know what Sableye's catch rate is, but I think it must be pretty high, because we had it all the way weakened as much as we could, and it was still pretty tough. So there are some rocks to smash. I don't know what Pokemon you can encounter through that, but I'm sure we'll cover it later on. This is a level 10 Zubat, so the levels get higher as you go deeper underground. And we may struggle to... So I could actually catch this and use it instead. I might try and catch it anyway, but then we will be running pretty low on balls. I'm going to try and catch it, and if it's got a better nature or whatever, then I will use it over the one that we've been using so far. Let's waste our last 3 Pokeballs on this, I guess. And there we go. So thankfully we now have another Zubat. We'll check that once we get through the rest of this cave. And there is an Aron. So this evolves into Aggron, which is not a great Pokemon in my opinion, but I did quite enjoy using... Let's just Supersonic, because why not? I did quite enjoy using Mega Aggron when that eventually became a thing. I used to run a truly demonic team of Mega Aggron and Bliss and Chansey in Gen 5 OU? Gen 6 OU? Good times. Aron is a steel type, I believe, so I'm going to go to Kirlia and just start spamming Confusion to weaken it. Has a really high physical defense, but not too much in the way of special defense, so that's why Confusion does quite a lot. And it kills. That did not expect that to kill, but there we go. And Kirlia's only Calm Mind, so Calm Mind's actually a really good move. It boosts special attack and special defense, and Growl is not a good move. So we are going to swap those two for now. And I think I may use a Repel if I've got one in my bag. But so if we come up here, there is an Everstone. Everstones are pretty much useless until this game. So they stop your Pokemon evolving. But if you are aware, you can just press B when your Pokemon is evolving and it will not evolve. So they've always been a kind of useless item until Pokemon Emerald, when they got a use in breeding, where it helps to retain the nature of the parent Pokemon, which makes hunting for a specific nature much easier. Or if you're breeding egg moves and stuff, you can use parent Pokemon with the right nature. It's just very handy. So this is Stephen, and he has a letter. We have a letter for him. So he's going to give us the Steelwing Titan, which I think I'm going to use on Crobat, but I'm not entirely sure. Steel's a pretty bad offensive typing, so I may use Return instead, is my current plan for Crobat. And so off he goes. And now we can exit. I am out of Pokeballs, not entirely, but pretty much, so I am going to go and stock up on some of those from Rustbro, and then I will be back. So I was just looking at the second Zubat that we caught, and it was an Impish nature, which is plus defense and minus attack, minus special attack, sorry, I believe. Yeah, let me just check. Yeah, Impish is plus defense and minus special attack, and that's actually going to be really good for us because it's good to have the. It's good to have the extra defense. It's good to have the extra bulk, and I will not be using any special attacks on Zubat. So yeah, we get 3 free levels out of that, and this poor Zubat is going to rot in here. I will probably eventually organise all of these boxes into Dex order. The only reason I haven't done so far is that I am very lazy. Okay, I am back with many a Pokeball. We should have now, 57 different Pokeballs. And the Pokemon we still need to catch are as follows. So I've got our new Zubat in the front of our party as well. The Pokemon we still need to catch here are as follows. So we have Makahita, which is 50% on this first floor, and we keep finding Abra instead. Then Zubat we've already got, Abra we've already got, and Geodude is 10% on this floor as well. So those are the two that we're going for, and Abra teleports away. Yeah, so we're going for Makahita and Geodude, which are both on the first floor. Then after that we need Aron, and that's it for the first basement floor. And then on the floor below that, there's nothing else for us to get. So we've got Makahita, Aron, and Geodude as our 3 Pokemon that we need to find. So with that we are all done. We have caught every Pokemon available in the Granite Cave. The final thing in this episode that we're going to be doing is catching the 3 Pokemon that require the Old Rod. So the first 2 you can catch within Dewford Town. So we're in Dewford Town, and I'm going to register the Old Rod. So there are 2 Pokemon here that you can get. The first is Magikarp at 70%. And the second is Tentacool at 30%. There we go, 1 down. And there we go, there is Tentacool and Magikarp both caught. So now we can leave Dewford and head back to Petalburg. So, the final Pokemon that we are going to be going for is a Goldeen, which you can actually catch as soon as you get the Old Rod by coming back up here to Petalburg City. So, and just fishing in this patch of water. And there it is, straight away pretty much. So we can now begin to catch it. And there we go, we're now done with all of the Pokemon that became available because of the Old Rod, and that is going to be the end of the episode for now. Next episode we will be taking on Slateport and carrying on our journey with Mr. Brawley to Slateport. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.